Finally! Awesome! Only half an hour late. This internet or Facebook, I don't know what it was, just wasn't playing. I've been trying to go live for the last half an hour, but my phone or Facebook or the internet, whatever it was, wasn't allowing me to do it. So very frustrating. So I am apologising for being late, but there's nothing right much I can do about it. Technical problems. So anyway, I'm here, finally. Internet's working. Facebook's letting me go live. Hi Kim, how are you? Hi Rita. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about fear. Fear. Hi Trina, hi Rita, thank you all for jumping on. So my name's Sarah Wood, the creator of Sarah's Mentoring Secret. For any of you that don't know me, pop in the comments where you're tuning in from. It's always great to know where you all are. So today, like I say, we're talking about fear. So the first sentence I'm going to say to you is this question. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in those empty moments. Hi Debbie, thank you for jumping on. How are you doing? So I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in those empty moments. So we're going to talk about the warrior. We've talked about the warrior before, so we're going to talk a little bit more about the warrior today. Awesome, Trina. Enjoying your own company, you will never feel alone again. So the way of the warrior is the way of action. Okay? The way of action. So, why is action so critical? We call the process of manifestation, which means our thoughts lead to our feelings, which lead to our actions, which then lead to results. Why are actions so important? So let's take a look at it. Thoughts and feelings, are they part of our inner world or part of our outer world? Type in the comments either inner or outer. What do you think? Are they a part of our inner or outer world? It does move you forward, David, definitely. I will get back to your comments. I'm struggling to read them without my specs on. Inner. Fantastic, you're right. They are inner. So, what about results? Are they part of our inner or outer world? Our results. Type in the comments, inner or outer. So they are our outer world. Okay, so therefore actions become the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Trina. So this becomes the action, the bridge between the inner and outer world. So thoughts and feelings are our inner world and action and results are our outer world. So action is the bridge between the two. Okay? So you can think about success all you want. You can feel success, but none of that matters in the real world. It's only the beginning. It's like if you can imagine a route. So that's your thoughts and your feelings. Your thinking about and feeling about success. That is your route. Okay? So if you want to see the fruit, all right, so you've got the root, the seed. If you want to see the fruit, you want to manifest from the inner world into the outer world. Your outer world success. So isn't that what we all want? Type in the comments, yes, if you want that. If you want to manifest from the inner world to the outer world success. So you're going to have to take action because that is the bridge between the two. So therefore, to succeed, this is what we have to do. This is the warrior's way. How are we ready? Sit down. I haven't taken the dogs out because it's been too hot today, so I'm taking them out in a little while. So, this is the problem. Your mind is a survival mechanism, and therefore its primary job is not action. What is it? Your mind is a survival mechanism, and therefore its primary job is not action, but it is, what do you think? Pop in the comments what you think it is. It's protection. That's what your mind was created for, to survive, to be your bodyguard, your protector. Thank you, Trina. Excellent. So, put me number one, in the comments if you have ever experienced this, where one part of you wants to go and the other part of you wants to stay. So you've got half wanting saying yes and the other side of you saying, oh, I don't know. Yes, oh, I don't know. Put me one in the comments if you've ever experienced that feeling. Thank you, Debbie. So, there's another part of you that wants to stay. So it's constantly like that. With any situation we're in, we're always having that battle between we want to go and the other part of us are like, oh, I don't know. Do it anyway, perfect. But not everybody feels they can do that. So I'm just going to explain. It's constantly like that. So because action and protection usually go the opposite direction, what does that feel like inside? What does it feel like? It's like there's a tension, right? There's a tension inside. And it's kind of like driving with your foot on the gas pedal, but also on the brake pedal at the same time. That's how to explain it. Fighting. Perfect. So has your life ever felt like that? You like got your foot on the gas pedal and you've got your foot on the brake and you're just like to-ing and fro-ing, don't know what to do. What's the name of the tension that you feel? What's the name of the tension that you feel when one part of us want to go but the other part wants to stay? What's the name of that tension? Anybody? What's the name of that tension? Type it in the comments. Every day for the last 4. This is going to really help you if that's the case, Trina. This is really going to help you, okay? This is the first half. We're going to do the second half tomorrow. It's not conflict. Indecision? No. I'll tell you what it is. It's fear. That is what it's called. It's fear. 4 years. Wow. This is going to help you, Trina. Sure. It's called fear. So, you wouldn't feel any anxiety if you were clear about one side or the other. So if you were just like going, Like, I want to go there. Good. See, I go because that doesn't bother me. I go because there's no thought of any fear. You're clear on what you need to do and you go straight there. There's no toing and froing. That is when you have clarity. And you do things when you've got clarity. You do things, even if you feel the fear, you do them anyway. Because you've got a clear vision of where you want to go. Does that make sense? Hi Karen, thank you for jumping on. So, let's stay here. That's what your body's saying. That's what your mind's saying. Let's stay here. Does that make sense to you guys? Put me a 2 in the comments if you got that. So if you were just going like, I want to go there, good, see, go because that doesn't bother me. Did you get that? Give me a thumbs up if you got that. If you haven't got clarity, you've got the, I want to stay, I want to go. Okay? Excellent. So, there's only that opposition that you feel that tension. And that's called fear. How many agree that fear, doubt, and worry are the greatest obstacles to our happiness and success? Put me a number 3 in the comments if you agree that fear, doubt, and worry are our greatest obstacles to our own happiness and success. Hands up. Excellent. So that is where the warrior comes in. Because being a warrior is taking action in spite of fear. And inaction, in spite of fear, as a word, it's known as the trait of what? Taking action in spite of fear. And action in spite of fear has a word. And what is that word? If you're taking action in spite of fear, type me in the comments real quick if you think you know it. Excellent, Rita. Spot on. Courage. That's just what it is. It's courage. And did you realise that you can only feel and experience courage? Just 1 minute. My laptop's gone now. Bear with me 1 second. I'm having so many technical problems today. I'm just going to disappear 1 second. I knew I should have written it down on paper. I'm just rebooting my laptop. 1 second and see if I can get it back. So fear, worry, doubt. That's our mind playing games. That's our mind trying to be the bodyguard. And what our mind does, because it's the survival mode, it's because it's the bodyguard, the mind is always looking for the danger, for the something that's going to harm, for the bad, for the negative. It's always looking for that. So when people say to me, why is it I always remember the bad things that have happened, but I never remember the good? You know, when like you're having a bad day, why is that? And that's because if something good is happening, if you're enjoying yourself, there is no fear. So your mind just ignores it. All it is interested in is the negative. It's the bad. It's the scary. It's the really crap stuff that happens. That's what it clings on to because it's the surviving instinct. The mind was just created to do that. So the mind doesn't know between want and don't want. All it's searching for is anything that's bad, anything that's going to harm you. But in hindsight, it's not particularly looking to survive for you. It's looking to survive for itself, because that's what it was created for. And my laptop's not coming on now. That's just what it was created for. So we've got this battle. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, you are never ever going to get rid of fear. You've just got to learn to be courageous and feel the fear and do it anyway. Obviously, there's times where your instinct says, don't cross the road because there's a car coming. Listen to that. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay? So there is times where fear is a good thing because it's going to help you to survive. Okay? But it's not a good thing all the time. It holds you back all the time. That's what its job is, to hold you back. It likes things to stay the same. It hates change. So as soon as you come out of your comfort zone, your mind's like, come back over here. And your courage has got to say, I am not coming back. I'm going over there because that's where I need to be. I don't want to stay here. I don't want things to stay the same. I want things to get better. So we've got to face these things. And as I say, you've got to take action in spite of fear. End of. And like I say, it's something that you are going to have to face every time something comes up that's different, something that comes up that's out of your comfort zone. I'm going to give you an example in 1 second. I'm just trying to get my file back up. I'm going to write it down from now on. I just thought it'd look more professional if I do it on a laptop, but technology and all that just decides to break down on me, and it's just taking forever. So I'm going to give you an example in a second. Are we all enjoying it so far? So the example is, while this decides to start working, the example is, if I was to ask 2 of you to come on this live, because I can add somebody on this live by just pressing 1 button, right? So if I was to ask 2 of you to come on this live, 1 of you would say, hell yeah, I'll jump on with you, and they'll dive on there without one problem whatsoever. And then the other person's instantly, excuse my French, shit themselves. They're like, I can't go on there. No, I don't want to be seen like this. Or people will talk, or, you know, and your survival mechanism kicks in. So one of you is like, yeah, man. And the other one's going, no. Does that make sense? So the question there is there a problem with the live? With going live? Is that the problem? Or is it just that somebody, their mind has gone into survival mode and they've felt the fear and said, no, I'll stay where I am, thank you. Whereas the other one said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump on there. They feel nervous. They feel, excellent, Trina. I'm going to take you up on that. Not today, but I'll take you up on it another day. And yeah, and it's just, I can't tell you, when you do something, when you feel the fear and do it anyway, the feeling that you have is A, you're so proud of yourself for doing it, but B, you're like, what was I so scared of in the first place? Because we've made this massive drama in our own heads going, no, your mind's going, no, you can't do that. There's nothing wrong with the live. I do it almost every day, and it's like second nature to me now. But obviously some of you have probably never done live before. Hi Ken, thank you for jumping on. So you've never done live before, and maybe you're not really prepared because your hair might look a bit of a mess, or you haven't got your makeup on, or you've got a grotty top on, or whatever. In your mind, you make excuses why you can't do it. Or I can't do it today because. And you make all these excuses up. And that's literally what they are. Right, it's one call, so I'm just going to find out where I was. We was on number 3, I think. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. I found it. We're back on again. Right. So, we cannot experience courage if there was no fear to begin with. Since fear plays such a crucial role in our lives, let's take a closer look at it. The definition of fear. Does anyone know what the definition of fear is? Put me in comments if you know what the definition of fear is. The definition of fear is anticipation of pain. What is anticipation? Is anticipation in the past or future? Hi Edward, thank you for jumping on. Anticipation of pain. Is that in the past or is that in the future? Type in the comments. It's in the future. This basically covers both. So, it's in the future. The anticipation. Your mind, when something you've made up in your head, it's not happened. So it's in the future. So example, I gave you 2 people, one goes on the live, the other one gives me an excuse as to why they can't. Okay? So, as I've said, there's nothing wrong with the live. The live is the same for both people. So the problem is there's fear in the mind. Our conditioned mind is like a sentry on a ship. Now, I need you to listen to this very carefully. Our mind, conditioned mind, is like a sentry on a ship. It is not the captain, and it is not the happiness director, and it's not the success director. Its job is what? Type in the comments what you think it is. So it's like a sentry on a ship. It's not the captain, it's not the happiness director or the success director. So what is its job? Absolutely, Trina. Absolutely. If something's happened to you once before, your mind's telling you that that's happened before, so therefore it can happen again. But it hasn't happened there. It's not security. Not too far off. Its job is to warn of danger. That is literally what its job is. It's to warn of danger. So like you said, Trina, if it's something that's happened in the past, your mind remembers that because it always remembers the bad. And instantly you think, because it's happened once before, it can happen again. Okay? So, it's warning of danger. That is why it is always scanning for something wrong or what could go wrong in any situation. And it wants to do a good job and feel important. So it is constantly screaming, look out, be careful, trouble over here, trouble over there. Meanwhile, everything's just fine. It's all in here. You can compare it to an over-worried mother. You know, a mother, maybe a new mother. I was when I brought my son home after he'd spent 8 weeks in hospital from birth because he was 2 months early, weighed 3 pounds, and I was an overprotective mum. I will hold my hands up. I was. Certainly when he come home for the first few weeks, because you go from all these monitors everywhere, beeping, and you know what beep is right and what beep is wrong. And it's like, you come home and they've got nothing to tell you that he's breathing okay or his breathing isn't. So I'm like, you've got to wash your hands before you touch him. You've got to do this. I've got to get up in the night and keep a check on it. I couldn't sleep. So you can, you know, you get the gist, don't you? It's like an overworried mother. So it has good intentions, but it will drive you freaking crazy. It really drives you crazy. Overprotective mum is a, yes, thank you. So instead of listening, keep us listening, if we keep listening to it, right? So if we keep listening to this, scary, don't do this, don't do that, don't do other, it will drive you crazy. So yes, what is your mind's favourite phrase? This one, you need to listen. What is your mind's favourite phrase? What if? What if I do that and something happens? What if I cross the road and this happens? What if I go through my back door and somebody stabs me? What if? That is your mind's favourite phrase. It's like, what if, is it past or present or future? Past, present or future? It's obviously future because it hasn't happened yet. It's just your imagination. My imagination runs wild sometimes, and I mean wild. And it's awful sometimes. You just think, oh my God. Certainly when it comes to going on an aeroplane. Oh, there's 4 magic words I'm going to tell you in a minute, Debbie. 4 magic words. And shut up's a good one, but I've got 4. So, your mind is the greatest soap opera script writer in history. It makes up disasters and dramas that haven't happened yet and probably never will. Example, I had a bad dream as a child. I had the same bad dream over and over and over. And going to bed, you know, sometimes you wake up in the night and everything's dark. Everyone else is asleep. It's deadly silent. You've had this nightmare, but you need the toilet. And tell me, give me a 4, I think, in the comments, I think we're on now, if you've had a similar experience. So you've had this nightmare, you wake up, but you're busting for a wee. And you're just like, oh man, I can't turn the light on because I'll wake people up. But I really don't want to go because something might be hiding under my bed. Or I might go into the bathroom and somebody might be waiting in the bathroom. Silly things go through your mind. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Trina. I have done it, and I've done it as an adult. I've woken up and I thought, I can't look in the mirror because if I look in the mirror, there'll be somebody there. And I don't look in the mirror and I just try and take my mind off it. It sounds daft, but it's true. And Mark Twain says it best. He says, I have had thousands of problems, most of which never happened. Balloons. Yes, there's quite a few people that don't like balloons. It's funny that you should say that. I had one in the back garden earlier. Where it came from, I do not know. So Mark Twain says, I have had thousands of problems, most of which never happened. Hands up if you've been there, if you've done it. I'm putting both up. I've had more problems than hot dinners, and which most of them have never come to pass, never happened. So the key distinction is that your mind doesn't make up reality. Your mind does not make up reality. It makes up stories and interpretations about reality. Thank you, Trina. It makes up stories and interpretations about reality. That makes you think, doesn't it? So that's the first half of this topic. I'm doing the second half tomorrow because it's a long one, and I appreciate that my laptop's broken down and I were half an hour late because the internet wasn't working and it's been blah. But we've got there. We've done it. And you've all stuck with me. So I love and appreciate all of you for doing that. I can't thank you enough for sticking with me. If you know anyone that will gain some value from this, click that share button. Not for me, but for them. Thank you ever so much for joining. And thank you so much for interacting as well. It's always fantastic when people get interactive and talk. I hope you've enjoyed it. And once again, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with no technical issues. And we'll get on at 4:30. So take care.